Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Masters of the Universe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Masters of the Universe Origins, Point Dread and Talon Fighter. Let's get into it! Let's start things off by trying to take a look at this extremely wide packaging. And it's kind of tall too. But here we have Masters of the Universe, Point Dread, and Talon Fighter, and some lovely, great artwork. And you see, this is all one picture here, but it also wraps around to this picture as well. So, nice going, Hasbro. And you see Castle Grayskull back here, Talon Fighter with He-Man and Zodak, a couple of Rotons over here with Trapjaw and Faker in them, and then some pictures of, well, not pictures, but artwork of some of the features of this set, action figures, and Castle sold separately. What? There's no Castle Grayskull in this box? I'm taking it back. Then here we have that other piece of artwork, and it features Point Dread and Zodak having some glowy feelings about it. And then the Talon Fighter perched atop of it. And then Triclops and a Roton. And Man-at-Arms fighting Merman. And Skeletor fixing to climb up Point Dread. And then Beastman just back there being beastly. Modern posing, Retroplay 6 and up. Then, unassembled. Yes, it was unassembled. But not a big deal. Masters of the Universe, Point Dread and Talon Fighter, Mystical Outpost, and Flying Vehicle. And then here we have small print, fine print, legalese print, symbols I'm not going to learn, a barcode, a question mark, and contents, 1 vehicle, assembly required, and 5 accessories. On this side, we have Masters of the Universe, Point Dread and Talon Fighter, Mystical Outpost, and Flying Vehicle. And then, you know, that is still artwork wrapping around from the front, and it's a dude on a flying pterodactyl, and he's got a spear, and he's going to spear stuff, I guess. And then it also wraps around from the front to this side as well. Masters of the Universe, Point Dread and Talon Fighter, Mystical Outpost, Flying Vehicle. Then you have Tila and Battlecat versus Evil Lyn and Panther. And then all this crazy magic smoke going on all over the packaging. Now that brings us to the back, where it's got some more nice artwork. He-Man and Tila and Talon Fighter, Skeletor and the Roton. With the mighty Talon Fighter perched atop its eldritch arch, the mysterious Point Dread traveled through time and space before Sorceress merged it to Castle Grayskull. And I have to say, and there's Point Dread and Stratos and I guess the Misty Mountains. And it just, I mean, the artwork on this and on Masterverse is just, it's very great looking, and I'm considering picking up that like coffee table book of all the artwork. Modernizing and celebrating the original 80s Masters of the Universe action figures, Masters of the Universe Origin gives you the power to pose Eternia's greatest warriors as retro style. And then here we have some features of Point Dread, blast enemies with outpost cannon, or swap for radar dish to spy around the landscape. Figures not included. Mattel empowering the next generation through play. And then there we have Point Dread and the Talon Fighter, and Point Dread is in 2 pieces. And then here we have some cross sale of Evil Warriors, Dragon Blaster Skeletor, Heroic Warriors, King Randor, and Slamurai. And then the Snake Men, Snake Face, Snake Tila, and Snake Trooper. Each sold separately, subject to availability. That, my friends, covers the packaging. Let's take a look at the vehicle and accessories and the base. And let's see, what should we start out with? Let's start out with Point Dread. So very, very, very similar to the original Point Dread. And they did improve this piece where not only does it stay on better and the Talon Fighter sits on it better, but it has this nice wood grain texture on it. I'm sure the colors of it are very similar to the original, but not quite exact. Same as the mold. It's not exactly what the original was, and it's definitely made out of a different material. This plastic is a little bit flexible where the original was not at all. It was very hard plastic. Now, on the inside here, another improvement that they made is it seems like the connector is a little bit better, although you can see there that it's bent. And just like the original, it does, the top portion does remove, and it will put on the, it will fit on the Origins Castle Grayskull turret. Something else that they improved in it on the interior is they added this console in here, which the original had a console, but it was just a sticker stuck to, you know, the uneven portions of the front of Point Dread, and it didn't stay on there long. But you can see this one has stickers on it. It has nice molded details on it. Well, a few nice molded details on it anyway. And you know, it does what it's supposed to do. And again, this will separate right here, and this portion fits on the Origins Castle Grayskull. Now, the Origins Castle Grayskull is slightly different than the original Grayskull, not just in materials, but in some of the sculpts. So it is a newer sculpt. It is not just a rehash of the original mold. They probably didn't even have the original mold anymore. And you can see I'm having a little bit of problems getting the top back on here. So it doesn't fit perfect, but once you get it on there, it stays. Now, and here I've done all that, and I forgot to show this other piece. And there I go bumping the camera because Digital Caveman Presents review. So it also comes with this piece, and it's got nice molded details on it. It's molded in a kind of swirly twirly silver plastic with little flecks of glitter in it. And it goes in this port right here, which this piece also fits in that port. This post right here and this post right here fits there. So now you've got, like, when the other part's connected to Castle Grayskull, you got a little bit of a gun turret battle station kind of thing going on there. Or this piece also swaps out with the radar dish on the Talon Fighter, or the, I guess it could be a gun of some kind, and it will also fit in that port, and it rotates 360 degrees just like the other one. And so that covers Point Dread, and we'll get it put back together here. And I don't know if y'all heard that satisfying snap for it. So we've looked at that, and we'll look at it again when we get through with the Talon Fighter. And I have to say, this is a big improvement over the original. It's got like translucent plastic for the eyes. The original just had a sticker, I believe. Nice molded details, which the original had a lot of nice molded details in it as well. But you see bird feathers, and you can see like the scales on the talons and the feet. Around here on the back, lots of nice molded details and stickers, just like the original had. Stickers for the engine parts. Here's the hinge, and unlike the original, this is a pinned hinge, so it's got a metal pin running through it, where the original would kind of pop off. Another improvement is the wings. However, you can say it's an improvement. Some people might not think it's an improvement. I think it's an improvement, because on the original toy, the wings didn't really lock into place and they would come loose often during play. These, once you put them into position, are pretty much locked into place. We've got a lot of nice molded details on the cockpit hatch here. Sticker here, molded in laser cannon, just like the original. And this one has a translucent or a clear piece of plastic in the canopy, which the original did not have. And also, all of this is much, much thicker and plastic than the original. It doesn't feel heavier, but it is thicker plastic. The radar dish up here, again, lots of nice molded details. It rotates 360 degrees. We've got a little bit of details there, which I think this window is new. I think in the original there was just a sticker with some controls on it up here, and this was just a closed-in spot. But that makes sense, that to have a window on the top. And of course it does have the handle. It's got some posts here in the feet. Some, well, I guess they're more ports than posts. The posts are on the Point Dread perch, and the posts on there go in these ports. And you can feed him right here. So that is really, really cool. Right here is the spot where you can use your thumb or finger to open it up, and it does. It's got some nice clips right here that go in these slots, and I say clips, tab clips, I guess. And again, you can see the clear piece is just screwed in there, as well as, I don't know why that's got screws in it. Maybe it's to hold two pieces together. And then on the inside, we have a mix of molded detail and stickers. So down here in the floorboard, you can see, like, I guess they're pedals, and they have some molded detail on it, and some molded details here on the sides. And then down in this part, which I guess is kind of like the seat part, doesn't look a very comfortable seat in this as well. And then stickers here and here and here, and then over here and here. And then you've got some control bars on here, which the original did not have. Some molded detail down here in the bottom. And unlike the original, this one has, it's not just a shell. It's where the original would just be everything fits down inside of, you know, whatever the outside is. This actually has an internal piece too. So that's cool. And you know, the whole thing, and it's just this part up here, I suppose, because you can see where the outside of the hull is right here, and across the bottom as well. But again, it's a little bit thicker than the original was too. And we also have a sticker back here with tools and medical kits, a weapon, an axe, a fly swat, and a fire extinguisher, which is very similar, if not pretty much exactly the same stuff that the original sticker had on it as well. And you can see there's 4 control sticks, so 2 figures do fit in here. And I'm talking about Origins figures, like He-Man here. He fits in here. And just like the original, you know, it's not a whole lot of room for the second individual, but they will fit in there, even if they're putting their foot in He-Man's booty. And close that up. And of course the handle back here, which again has nice molded details on the sides of it, which the original had stickers here, I believe. But you can use the handle flying it around and stuff. And oh, I did forget to show where that removes. You can put this on there instead if you'd rather it have some extra guns. Although it's a little wobbly on there. I prefer the much more original piece on there. So, and then again, landing it on Point Dread is a simple matter of just lining the ports and the posts up, and it does sit on there fairly nice. And it's actually the original didn't set up here very well. I mean, if it sat up there and you didn't bump it or anything, it was good. But this one, you can literally carry Point Dread around with it, and it does rotate, although the handle does get in the way of that on one side. Right there. So, and there you have it, my friends. I'll look at the vehicle and the base. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Masters of the Universe Origins, Talon Fighter, and Point Dread, with the Masters of the Universe Origins He-Man, the Masters of the Universe Mighty Masters He-Man, and the Mattel Creations Masters of the Universe Chronicles King Grayskull. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Masters of the Universe Origins, Talon Fighter and Point Dread, with from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Masters of the Universe Origins, Talon Fighter, and Point Dread, I have to say, this was one of my favorite vehicles and vehicle in playset, I guess, from the original line. Even though that original did have its problems, it's just the fact that not only could this land, on its own base, but that base could also become part of Castle Grayskull, and you could land the ship right there on Castle Grayskull. And I thought that was really clever and cool, and a neat piece that you could add something to Castle Grayskull. And in fact, I wish they had done other pieces that you could add to Castle Grayskull in that original line. And I'm not talking about in place of Point Dread on there, in addition to Point Dread. So you could have several pieces extra attached to the castle. But that wasn't the way it did. This was the only one they had really attached to Castle Grayskull. At least the only one I remember. And I really enjoyed this vehicle and playset as a child, and this piece actually makes me wish that I had gotten into Masters of the Universe Origins, but because of, 2020 and supply chain issues and stuff like that. I didn't get right in there on it, and so I missed out. So I said, well, don't worry about it. And, I've collected a few pieces here and there. The Prince Adam and Cringer set, the She-Ra, and a Battle Cat that I had bought intending to get into the cartoon collection. And yeah, I waited around on that too long and missed out on that too. So it is what it is. I have just a few Origins figures. This piece is actually my son's, and I thank Digital K-Boy for lending it to me to do this review. And I really enjoyed this piece. The improvements that they've made on it, it really shows how far the toy industry has come in 40 years and how much that they're willing to improve things as well. And that's not to say, that this couldn't have used some additional improvements, but I think it's fine the way that it is. The way that it is vastly improved over the original, but yet really harkens back to that original, which is, what the Origins line is really supposed to do. So, in the end, I like this piece. And again, it is my son's piece, and I do thank him for lending it to me. And when I found it on clearance at Walmart, this makes me wish I'd purchased two of them now, and one for him and one for me instead of just one for him. But, it is what it is, and maybe at some point he will enjoy this piece as much as I did when I was young. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.